सो IVF पूछो, अब तो हम एक्सपर्ट्स हैं।
हाँ, अभी तक तुम किसी डॉक्टर से मिले हो?
वही तो हम पूछना चाहते हैं, शुरू कहाँ से करें?
नोवा IVF के बारे में बताओ ना इनको।
अच्छा, सबसे पहले तुम एक अच्छा स्पेशलिस्ट ढूंढो।
पर किससे पूछे? आजकल एक सही स्पेशलिस्ट मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है।
एग्जैक्टली, नोवा IVF की यही चीज सबसे अच्छी है।
हाँ, वहाँ पे तुम सिर्फ एक स्पेशलिस्ट पे डिपेंड नहीं करती।
हर कपल के लिए एक्सपर्ट्स की एक पूरी टीम होती है, जिसमें एक्सपीरियंस्ड IVF स्पेशलिस्ट, एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट, मेडिकल काउंसलर्स और ट्रेन्ड नर्सेस भी होती हैं।
और ये सब मिलकर काम करते हैं ताकि आपको बेस्ट रिजल्ट मिले।
एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट वो भी जरूरी है क्या?
बिल्कुल, एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट भी जरूरी है। ये वो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं जो लैब में एम्ब्रियो की देखभाल करते हैं ताकि एम्ब्रियो ट्रांसफर करने के लायक हो जाए।
एक अच्छा एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट हो और एक एडवांस्ड वेल इक्विप्ड लैब, तो बेबी कंसीव करने के चांसेस बहुत बढ़ जाते हैं।
नोवा IVF, हाँ, अगले हफ्ते अपॉइंटमेंट ले लें।
चुनो ऐसा फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक जो बढ़ाए हर कदम आपकी सफल प्रेगनेंसी की ओर। नोवा IVF करने का सही तरीका, नोवा का तरीका।
आपको कब लगता है कि आप माँ बन गई हैं? जब प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट में वो 2 लाइनें दिखती हैं, या फिर जब पहली बार आप अपने बेबी को अपने हाथों में लेती हैं, या फिर हो सकता है कि आप माँ उसी दिन बन जाती हैं जिस दिन आपने डिसाइड किया कि फैमिली स्टार्ट करनी है। मैं लकी हूँ कि मैं नेचुरली कंसीव कर पाई, लेकिन कई ऐसे कपल्स हैं जो नहीं कर पाते। एंड आई विश कि कोई भी जो माँ बनना चाहती है वो इस वंडरफुल फीलिंग को एक्सपीरियंस कर सके आज की एडवांस्ड फर्टिलिटी ऑप्शंस की मदद से। इनफर्टिलिटी भी बाकी कंडीशंस की तरह एक मेडिकल कंडीशन है जिसके लिए एक्सपर्ट्स चाहिए। नोवा IVF एक ऐसी फर्टिलिटी चेन है जहां सबसे एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी और फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट्स की एक्सपीरियंस टीम है। अगर 1 साल से भी ज्यादा ट्राई करने के बाद आप फैमिली स्टार्ट नहीं कर पाए, तो आप नोवा IVF के एक्सपर्ट से बात करें, जिन्होंने 40,000 से भी ज्यादा कपल्स को सक्सेसफुल IVF प्रेगनेंसीज पाने में मदद की है। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें और अपने ऑप्शन समझें ताकि इनके एक्सपर्ट्स की टीम आपकी माँ बनने की जर्नी को सही रास्ता दिखा सके। नोवा IVF, इंडिया का सबसे भरोसेमंद IVF चेन।
तुम अभी तक सोई नहीं?
इंतजार करना छोड़ दे क्या? हम क्लिनिक ही नहीं गए, उसके बाद टेस्ट भी कंप्लीट नहीं किए।
हाँ, पर टाइम है ना, और वैसे भी इतने सारे रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं अभी।
वो कब खत्म होगा किससे पता।
चलो वापस फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक चलें?
प्रोसेस तो शुरू कर सकते हैं ना?
सेफ तो है ना डॉक्टर से मिलना ऐसे टाइम में?
फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक है, हॉस्पिटल नहीं। और एक बात, हम दोनों को शहर में रहना होगा ट्रीटमेंट खत्म होने तक।
हाँ, वैसे भी हम अब कहीं जा नहीं सकते ना।
पर क्या हम अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं?
बच्चा तो हम चाहते हैं ना।
यस।
तो सही समय अब है।
पिछले 60 दिनों में 2000 से ज्यादा दंपतियों ने हमारे साथ अपना सफर शुरू किया है। हमारे फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट से बात कीजिए और सही निर्णय लीजिए। सही समय अब है।
IVF के बारे में बात करने से शर्माना कैसा? हमसे कुछ भी गलत होता है ना, तो हम तुरंत किसी ना किसी पर दोष डाल देते हैं, खुद पर या हमारे आसपास के सभी लोगों पर। ये नेचुरल है क्योंकि वी गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड फ्रस्ट्रेटेड। लेकिन सच तो ये है कि हम सबको कभी ना कभी मदद की जरूरत पड़ती है, और मदद लेने में कैसी शर्म। नोवा IVF के एक्सपर्ट्स पर भरोसा करें क्योंकि वो IVF एथिक्स का ध्यान रखते हैं और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करते हैं। आपकी सिचुएशन को समझने से लेकर पर्सनलाइज्ड ट्रीटमेंट प्लान बनाने तक। नोवा आईवीएफ स्पेशलिस्ट हमें हर तरह से इमोशनल सपोर्ट भी देते हैं। और अब आप पूछेंगे कि इतनी परेशानी क्यों उठाए, तो आपको बता दूं कि ये सब आपको तब वर्थवाइल लगेगा जब आप पहली बार बच्चे को अपने हाथों में लेंगे। 43 की उम्र में मैंने आईवीएफ को मौका दिया, इसलिए झिझकिए मत। नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ भारत की प्रमुख फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। आईवीएफ के बारे में बात करने से शर्माना कैसा। हमसे कुछ भी गलत होता है ना, तो हम तुरंत किसी ना किसी पर दोष डाल देते हैं, खुद पर या हमारे आसपास के सभी लोगों पर। ये नेचुरल है क्योंकि वी गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड फ्रस्ट्रेटेड। लेकिन सच तो ये है कि हम सबको कभी ना कभी मदद की जरूरत पड़ती है, और मदद लेने में कैसी शर्म। नोवा आईवीएफ के एक्सपर्ट्स पर भरोसा करें, क्योंकि वो आईवीएफ एथिक्स का ध्यान रखते हैं और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करते हैं, आपकी सिचुएशन को समझने से लेकर पर्सनलाइज्ड ट्रीटमेंट प्लान बनाने तक। नोवा आईवीएफ स्पेशलिस्ट हमें हर तरह से इमोशनल सपोर्ट भी देते हैं। और अब आप पूछेंगे कि इतनी परेशानी क्यों उठाए, तो आपको बता दूं कि ये सब आपको तब वर्थवाइल लगेगा जब आप पहली बार बच्चे को अपने हाथों में लेंगे। 43 की उम्र में मैंने आईवीएफ को मौका दिया, इसलिए झिझकिए मत। नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ भारत की प्रमुख फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। आईवीएफ अननेचुरल है। प्लीज आप मेरे बच्चों को ही देख लो। जार की आंखें बिल्कुल शिरीष जैसी, आन्या के बाल मेरे जैसे, एंड थैंक गॉड दीवा की हाइट मुझ पर नहीं गई है। आईवीएफ और आईवीएफ की प्रक्रिया के बारे में सुनकर आपके मन में भी कई सवाल आते होंगे, इसीलिए ये जरूरी है कि आप किसी ऐसे फर्टिलिटी सेंटर पे जाएं जहां आईवीएफ प्रोसेस के एथिक्स का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता हो और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी हो। आईवीएफ चुनने का यही एक सही तरीका है, नोवा का तरीका। नोवा आईवीएफ के स्पेशलिस्ट के लिए सबसे जरूरी है पेशेंट के हित को ध्यान में रखना और उनके हिसाब से ट्रीटमेंट प्लान्स बनाना। नोवा में फर्टिलिटी डॉक्टर की एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस में ये काम किया जाता है, क्योंकि वो सबसे बेहतर समझते हैं कि आप कितने स्ट्रेस से गुजर रहे हैं, और वो हमें हमारी संतान का सुख प्राप्त करने में मदद करते हैं। हमारे बच्चे 100% हमारे हैं, बायोलॉजिकली एंड इमोशनली। और अब तो मेरे बच्चे 13 साल के हो गए हैं, और मैं आपको यकीन दिला दूं कि सभी बिल्कुल स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त हैं, और बहुत नॉटी भी। इसीलिए आप इस बारे में कुछ और मत सोचिए, तुरंत नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में अपना कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ भारत की सबसे भरोसेमंद फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। हैप्पी पेरेंटहुड।
आपको कब लगता है कि आप माँ बन गई हैं? जब प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट में वो 2 लाइनें दिखती हैं, या फिर जब पहली बार आप अपने बेबी को अपने हाथों में लेती हैं, या फिर हो सकता है कि आप माँ उसी दिन बन जाती हैं जिस दिन आपने डिसाइड किया कि फैमिली स्टार्ट करनी है। मैं लकी हूं कि मैं नेचुरली कंसीव कर पाई, लेकिन कई ऐसे कपल्स हैं जो नहीं कर पाते। एंड आई विश कि कोई भी जो माँ बनना चाहती है वो इस वंडरफुल फीलिंग को एक्सपीरियंस कर सके आज की एडवांस्ड फर्टिलिटी ऑप्शंस की मदद से। इनफर्टिलिटी भी बाकी कंडीशंस की तरह एक मेडिकल कंडीशन है जिसके लिए एक्सपर्ट्स चाहिए। नोवा आईवीएफ एक ऐसी फर्टिलिटी चेन है जहां सबसे एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी और फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट्स की एक्सपीरियंस टीम है। अगर 1 साल से भी ज्यादा ट्राई करने के बाद आप फैमिली स्टार्ट नहीं कर पाए, तो आप नोवा आईवीएफ के एक्सपर्ट से बात करें, जिन्होंने 40,000 से भी ज्यादा कपल्स को सक्सेसफुल आईवीएफ प्रेगनेंसीज पाने में मदद की है। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें और अपने ऑप्शन समझें, ताकि इनके एक्सपर्ट्स की टीम आपकी मां बनने की जर्नी को सही रास्ता दिखा सके। नोवा आईवीएफ इंडिया का सबसे भरोसेमंद आईवीएफ चेन।
आईवीएफ अननेचुरल है। प्लीज आप मेरे बच्चों को ही देख लो। जार की आंखें बिल्कुल शिरीष जैसी, आन्या के बाल मेरे जैसे, एंड थैंक गॉड दीवा की हाइट मुझ पर नहीं गई है। आईवीएफ और आईवीएफ की प्रक्रिया के बारे में सुनकर आपके मन में भी कई सवाल आते होंगे, इसीलिए ये जरूरी है कि आप किसी ऐसे फर्टिलिटी सेंटर पे जाएं जहां आईवीएफ प्रोसेस के एथिक्स का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता हो और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी हो। आईवीएफ चुनने का यही एक सही तरीका है, नोवा का तरीका। नोवा आईवीएफ के स्पेशलिस्ट के लिए सबसे जरूरी है पेशेंट के हित को ध्यान में रखना और उनके हिसाब से ट्रीटमेंट प्लान्स बनाना। नोवा में फर्टिलिटी डॉक्टर की एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस में ये काम किया जाता है, क्योंकि वो सबसे बेहतर समझते हैं कि आप कितने स्ट्रेस से गुजर रहे हैं और वो हमें हमारी संतान का सुख प्राप्त करने में मदद करते हैं। हमारे बच्चे 100% हमारे हैं, बायोलॉजिकली एंड इमोशनली। और अब तो मेरे बच्चे 13 साल के हो गए हैं और मैं आपको यकीन दिला दूं कि सभी बिल्कुल स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त हैं और बहुत नॉटी भी। इसीलिए आप इस बारे में कुछ और मत सोचिए, तुरंत नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में अपना कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ, भारत की सबसे भरोसेमंद फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। हैप्पी पेरेंटहुड। I never doubted the process. I think the process is good. The process is scientific. You cannot get a better process than this if you can't conceive naturally.
How has life been post IVF and motherhood?
I think life, you get kind of perspective in life when you have children. Okay. You understand what is actually important in life.
You're the only person who's also so vocal about IVF and the advancements.
People think it's a taboo subject and it's something to be ashamed of and something to be hidden. I mean, after that, Amir has gone public about his surrogacy. Shah Rukh and Gauri have gone public about having surrogate. Karan has gone public. Yeah. If you are younger and if you have the time and the money, you should freeze your eggs and keep it.
Farah, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you. Same here, Simrat.
Let's start at the very beginning. You decided to get married at the age of 40.
Young age.
Very young age of 40. When did you decide to embark on the journey towards parenthood? And how did you make a decision about it?
I got married literally 1 month before I turned 40.
Okay.
Fair enough. So I still say I got married at 39, but I was in December 9th I got married and in January 9th I turned 40. I think immediately we said, I was 40. So we said we want to have, like Shirish was very clear, he wants to have kids, and that's how also I got married.
With the bait of having kids.
He was like, listen, if you don't want to get married and have kids and all, then I'm not interested. He literally threatened me. So we did go to a gynac and he was like, everything is good, keep trying and all that. But it was now, I was 42 and...
so you tried for 2 years before you actually took...
Yeah, almost 1.5 years. And at 42, literally I met somebody around little younger than me in their 40s who was pregnant.
Okay.
And she told me, listen, I've done IVF. At the very next morning, I went to meet her and she said, you are starting immediately.
Okay. Did you have time to do your research or you just started?
No. She said, we need to start because you're 42.
Right.
And you need to start, who is this doctor? Now I can't tell you whoever this doctor was who had told me keep trying. So we started immediately. Now the thing was, I had just started shooting Happy New Year. I just started shooting Om Shanti Om. Oh, it's the busiest time of anybody's life when you're making a movie. So every morning before the shoot, 7:30 in the morning, I had to go. The hospital was very far from where we were shooting.
Okay.
Very far from my house also. Every morning I used to go there. She used to give me injections because I think to retrieve eggs, you need to prep.
Stimulate.
Yeah. And then after that, I would go drive 1.5 hour for shooting. Then in the afternoon, she would send somebody there to give me injections. In the afternoon, the compounder would come. Then in the evening, I would go back after shooting. So it was quite hectic, but I was all very gung-ho about it. And I wanted her only to give me the injection because her hand was very gentle. So it used to not pain me.
IVF is an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, and how?
Yes. And how did you manage the highs and lows, especially when you're in the limelight at all times?
I want to tell you, there were, in the first 5-6 months, there were only lows because I was not getting, we were retrieving eggs and implanting them back, and I don't know how many times I must have gone under general anesthesia because I preferred that. So I used to do it, and then next morning I had to go for shooting. And the first time I went to the doc, and I was so sure that I was pregnant, because the first time you always feel, okay, I've done it. And I went there, and literally I got my period in her office. I went to her loo, and I came out, and also I think they're pumping in so many hormones and injections that your emotional balance is. So I used to be sobbing all the way back till the shoot. And then I remember one more day we were shooting again for Om Shanti Om. And in the middle of the lunch break, I got a call from her. This is the second IVF time that I tried.
Okay.
And it was a comic scene, I think we were shooting. And I got a call from the doctor, and she said that it's not happened this time. And then they called and said, you have to come to shoot, ma'am. And I went in, and Shahrukh knew something is wrong, because I was literally standing and I was going to cry. And so he said, take a break, everybody. And he took me into his van where I've sobbed for 1 hour. And then
you were back again?
It was back again. But then I think the doctor was also nice. She told me, listen, take a break.
Yeah.
Because the stress is too much. You're making a movie. You're on your feet all day. You're not getting to relax after the,
shots.
But throughout, so she said, wait till, and then we had a 1 month gap because June, July, Shahrukh always used to take a holiday with his kids. So she said, you finish whatever you need to shoot. We'll come back in June and we'll do it then. That's when we went. But throughout it, I must say, my husband was there.
Yeah.
Every time I went to the hospital, whether it was 7 in the morning, whether it was 10 in the night, Shirish was there with me throughout. And I think that makes a lot of difference to the well-being of the woman. If you have a partner or a family member who's supportive and who's there with you, it really enhances I feel it enhances your chances.
Even more.
Yes, because your mind frame has to be relaxed and happy.
That was my next question. How important is the support system and how crucial it was for you?
I think I feel a lot of my friends afterwards, they were doing it. And they were always stressed, and they found it very stressful, and they found it, the more you say it is stressful and the more you say it's painful and very difficult and very hard, it is going to become more difficult and harder and more stressful. I think it's a journey that you take, and every time I used to take that injection, or they used to give it directly in the stomach, sometimes in the thigh, and I used to just visualize children, my kids, not exactly how they look like now, but some babies.
Yeah.
And I used to say it's worth it. So you have to be positive, and you have to not make everything so stressful.
Yeah. And how did you manage the stress? What did you do to, was there something special that you did that calmed you down, or?
No, I was
working. Maybe
I was working, which was good. Anyway, all my stress comes out when I'm working. I'm busy shouting at people and also.
Best stress
It's fine, yes. But then after that, in that literally that 1 month break which we had, it was like a wait. So when you're working, that weight was lifted off my mind, because back of your head, you're always thinking somebody is going to come now and give me the injection. I have to go, finish. So I worked really nicely. And then in that 1 month, we went back to Dr. Firoza, and we did the the retrieval and the implantation. And I came back home, and I took out I opened my bathroom cabinet, and I took out all the sanitary pad,
the
packets.
pads.
I put it and I threw them in the kachre ka dabba.
What?
Yeah, I said, I am not going to get my periods this time. I am going to get pregnant.
I have goosebumps. Like,
yeah.
just
So
wanted
I was
to-
like, literally, I was like, this time I'm going to get pregnant. I will. And I packed all the sanitary bags, threw it. I said, I can't get my period now. I don't have pads.
So the positive reinforcement you kept.
I think you have to manifest, and you have to. And Shirish and me, and then we started talking about kids, and we started talking about, what we want to name them and how will they be and all that. And when the doctor called this time, I was 100% sure that we are going to
You're going to be.
we are going to be pregnant. And she said, listen, Farah, don't jump too high. She said,
Reality check.
Yeah, don't jump too high. I want you to be calm. You're pregnant. And she said, and again, don't get your hopes up, but it's multiple pregnancy.
Yeah, how was that like? Like when you came to know that you have triplets?
Too thrilled. I mean, we would have been thrilled with one child. She didn't say triplet. She said it's multiple.
Okay,
so we were like, it's twins.
Okay.
So then we started discussing twins. And we started naming. And then Shirish said, listen, we might as well discuss triplets.
Did
why
he say
not?
that?
Yeah. He said, we had named the two babies. We had given some very
Like
cringy. Now
very
sound
Bollywood names?
cringy. No. Some cringy pet names to them. So now we had a third one. So then we gave a cringier pet name to the third one. And we started. So we were reading The Secret actually that time.
Yes.
Manifestation. And Om Shanti Om was also all about manifestation. It was The Secret, and it was a the alchemist. And so my whole thing was that. And then after about 10 days, when she called me and she said that, it's triplets, I said, I just knew it, doc. And of course, we were too excited. And then doctor gave us a reality check and said that you have to reduce one.
Oh.
Because normally most twins start out as triplets.
Right.
And she said, you're going to be 43 when the children come. And it's not good for you. And your stomach is great, your lining is fab, but 3 children is a big risk, and one child can be really small, and one child can have. I mean, doctor gave me the worst case scenario, but I was like, doctor, you tell me what you need, how big you want each child to be. So she said, safely they should be 2 kilos each.
Oh.
I said, I will make sure that they are over and above that.
Okay.
You will not believe my kids were 2.5 kilos each.
Each?
Yeah. So I was literally 7.5 kilos I was carrying and roaming. Because I was then so good about it. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to reduce one child.
Yeah.
And now my children have games like, you should have reduced this one. When they get angry at sir, your doctor told you should have removed one child.
That's how they get back at each other. Farah, how did your family and your friends reacted when you told them that
So
you're
I
going
think the first person that I told, of course, besides my mom, was Shah Rukh.
Okay.
When he came back and I said, I have to tell you something, and he looked at me, he said, you're pregnant. I said, I can't tell you his trip. He said, what? So
you
because
had to
we
tell
still had some shooting to finish.
Okay.
After he came back, we had to finish Darde Disco and all.
Oh.
So that's the famous story where he used to remove his shirt and I used to throw up. Because I was at the height of my morning. It was not morning sickness, let me tell you. Carrying triplets is not, I won't say hard because I enjoyed it too, but everything was threefold. So the nausea was threefold. I had rash all over my stomach, which was threefold. Everything was, literally everything was thrice. So he used to say, what is this? He kept one bucket next to me. And he was very sweet because he ordered this lazy boy couch for me instead of the director's chair. So I could lie down with my mic and shout at people.
Even better.
Yeah.
So Farah, now I want to also ask you that IVF in the industry
Yeah.
is not much to
Oh
talk
God,
about.
nobody. I think I was the first person who spoke
Exactly.
about IVF.
So do tell us a little bit about that. How did your friends and family also react to the fact that you did choose to go through IVF and take that
I think
path?
my friends and family were fine. I think I chose to go public about it because
Yes.
I didn't want to hide it. It's not something illegal or it's not some. I know people don't like to say they got
There
it.
is a certain taboo
and there were
about
so
it.
many
Yeah.
of my friends that I've sent to have done IVF and surrogacy
Right.
after my babies came.
Right.
So many of them. I think it was great, and I thought that if I don't speak about it, I mean, I first of all, I don't like to lie. I'm a bad liar. Other than that, why it's not like I've gone underground and done some illegal stuff. It's IVF, and it's great for women of my age, great for career women or women who have been trying for years but don't know the way to go
about it, right? But Farah, now that you actually started talking about it and people started to come to know about IVF and the
Yeah.
awareness, there are small towns also where people have started to take up IVF as a course of treatment without feeling as bad, because
I don't know why should you feel bad about it.
it's because there's a certain
Really,
sort of-
I mean,
yeah,
there's
a certain
nothing to
taboo.
feel. You can be younger and you may not be able to conceive. There may be 1,000 reasons
Right.
why that's not happening. It could be because of the man. They also take the sperm. And I never thought I was somebody who wanted a child or that my life was incomplete without a kid. I was not that type. But the day that I went to her office and I realized that I'm not conceived, that was the day I realized how badly I
Badly you
wanted it. Till then, I was hunky-dory and my life was great. You know.
But let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
You are an ambitious woman. You always
Yes.
started to, you're a choreographer.
I don't know
director,
about
actor.
ambitious, but I'm a work-oriented person.
Work-oriented person, and you did prioritize
my
your work.
career was very important to me, and my work was very more than wanting to get famous or anything. It was my work was very important.
That you
to me.
enjoyed and you wanted to bring.
I still want to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was fertility and parenthood on your mind in your 20s? And did you ever think
Not
about
at all. Not at all. And not even marriage was not on my mind at all. I think at 22 or something, maybe I thought I'll get married. But I have a weird family and they got together and they said, we'll kick you out of the house if you get married. This young, without doing anything in life.
This young?
So, yeah. So they were the complete opposite of what normal parents would do. My mother said, I'll throw you out of the house.
Okay.
You have to make something of your life and you have to be financially independent
Very important.
before you get married or any such thing. So after that, then I became financially independent and I had no desire to get married till I met Shirish, you know. And now after 20 years of marriage, it'll be 20 years this year in December. Sometimes I think, why did I get married also? As I'm sure most husbands and wives think back. But I had no desire to get married. Babies though were very far off.
But do tell us a little bit about Zar, Anya and Diva. What are they like? And also, extension to that, what are some myths of IVF babies that you'd like to debunk and tell the people that...
I don't know. Yeah.
Hey,
So everyone looks at them and says, oh, they don't look identical. So I want to tell you, triplets rarely look identical.
oh,
Also because Dr. Firoza had embedded 4 eggs, out of which 3 fertilized, which was that's solely because I was looking after myself.
yes.
My stomach lining everything was good. I was healthy
pink
to
of your
carry,
health, right.
you know. So I think that is one of the myths that you have, that they will all be
Identical looking.
Identical, especially IVF, because one egg is not
One
splitting,
embryo,
you know,
yeah.
you're putting multiple eggs. The other one, I think, is that...
Has someone come to you and said something and you're like, what?
No, I think after I gave birth for a very long time, people still thought I was pregnant. But other than that, no. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just still looking pregnant. I think the other thing is people think it's a taboo subject and it's something to be ashamed of and something to be hidden, which... I mean, after that, Amir has gone public about his surrogacy.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh and Gauri have gone public about having surrogate. Karan has gone public.
Yeah.
But I think they think that if you are carrying the baby, it should be natural. Otherwise, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I think that needs to really change.
And with awareness programs like
Yeah.
these, maybe we want to tell more
Yes.
people about the process
And
of
also, I
IVF.
think if you are younger and if you have the time and the money, you should freeze your eggs and keep. And
I
you
was coming
should
to
you
that.
should do that, because a lot of my younger friends, I forced them to go freeze eggs and keep, because then you have viable eggs. Because my thing was, I was 42, so the eggs are less. The quality of eggs is not great. It's Mother Nature. You can't really do
Fight
anything
it,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are younger and you can do that, you should go ahead and do it, because sometime in life you don't want to grow older and say, shit, I wish I
had
had
the
a child,
choice.
or I had a choice and I skipped it. So do that. I didn't have that choice, because my time, eggs.
At that time,
I discovered IVF literally when I had to go, when
As a
I
last
wanted to
resort.
have babies, which was pretty much later in the day.
Okay.
And before that, nobody was really speaking about it also.
Yeah.
So we were not having too many people coming out and saying, we've done IVF and it's great. And who also, the other thing is, you have to be careful who you do the IVF with. It should be somebody trusted, somebody who has a good reputation. Don't go to any quack who's saying,
And who have the right science and technology advancements
yes,
and
the
a good
doctors
lab.
that are attached to the clinic,
It's
those
a
need to be
full
to be good.
ecosystem and a
Yes.
collaborative effort to get the best.
Yep. So the other thing, I think everyone who has a baby always calls me till now and said, we've had one baby. Oh my God, we were thinking about you. How the hell did you cope with 3 babies? We are gone mad with one child.
Tell us a little quirks about each one of them. And
So
I can't ask
they
you
are
your
completely different. So not only is it debunking the myths of IVF, but also the myths of astrology and star signs.
Tarot.
They are all born literally 2 minutes apart
right.
and completely different personalities.
Yeah?
Yeah, all 3. They are the only thing similar is that they're all 3 very, very good children, very reserved. They've gone on the father, all 3 of them,
Okay.
which is very irritating, because I did all the heavy lifting.
Literally heavy
Yeah,
lifting.
literally. And they've gone to the 10th standard now. So even now when I meet people, they're like, but we just read 5 years ago. I said, that was 15 years ago. They still remember where they were when they read that, that I've delivered triplets.
And also coming back, because you're the only person who's also so vocal about IVF and the advancements that people have the choice of
I think
this
I'm
in their
going to get a
fertility.
lot of blessings
Yes.
from people who have gone and then done it. And, it's also, I think the men need to be educated also about it.
Yes.
The mother-in-laws, the men, they all need to. And when I used to go to when I used to take the kids there once in a way, I used to see really like small town women coming there, which is so good.
Yeah.
Coming there and sitting. I never thought at 43 I would have.
I mean,
Kids.
at least you had the choice at 43 with the
Yeah,
advancement.
I mean, if there was no IVF, I probably would not be having kids. And I think either Shirish would have killed me or I would have killed him by now.
Come on.
By now, we would have killed each other, because the children are a big factor in also keeping everyone together and, getting your marriage after for so long. It's going to be 20 years now.
Right.
And nobody even thought I'm going to get married, and no one even thought I'm going to stay married for so
20
long.
years.
Because I remember this very famous director was asked, are you attending Farah's wedding? And he said, no, but I'll attend the next one. So I was like, okay, I'll show you, wait.
Farah, I read somewhere that, you mentioned that your babies were not delivered by a pizza man. That's something...
Were not delivered by a pizza man. Really?
Yeah.
What was the question? I don't know.
It was to tell people that, my babies are born through IVF, and I have
Oh,
told
like
them
that.
about it.
Oh,
That
okay.
a pizza man did not deliver my baby.
Yeah.
That they were
okay.
born through
Oh
IVF.
my God, they were born and literally they had not told me, I want to tell you, what is the sex of the babies.
Oh.
They don't tell you in India, right?
Of course, like
they
that,
don't tell
yes,
you.
they don't.
And with me
I
being
thought
a
when they were
celebrity,
born and they didn't tell
no,
you.
no,
I was
no,
like,
that being a whatever celeb.
Limelight, yeah.
They were very scared to tell me in case I blurt it out and the doctor gets into trouble.
Of course.
So till I was there lying with anesthesia, the epidural that they gave me, oh my God. I think that was the most painful part of the pregnancy.
The anesthesia and the injections?
The one that they gave me a spinal.
Okay, the epidural.
Yeah, but it was a big one because it had to last through all 3. And then it was literally after I couldn't feel anything, and I was like, I was holding on to the anesthesis because I got a panic attack. I couldn't feel my legs and all. My husband was very happily shooting away. I have matlab, if you need a documentary on how triplets are born, we have a full National Geographic documentary. There were 35 people in that room.
What?
Because they were so scared that Jaslok had not had a triplet birth in like 20 years before this.
Okay.
So everyone was there. The stem cell people were there. The gynacs were there. The IVF was there. The pediatrician was there. The neo center. There were 35, 40 people in that room, and I couldn't feel anything. And then they were taking out one baby literally like this, holding up, and I'm on call with my mom and my aunts and my whole.
Giving an update.
They were in my room waiting, so I was giving updates. So I was like, oh, what is it? Oh, it's a boy. Oh, it's a boy. And I could hear everyone clapping in the room on top. And then they're like, what is next? What is next? Waiting. Oh, it's a girl. It was literally like that. And then they roll the babies up. They wrap them up like shawarma rolls. They were literally like, those babushka dolls. Yeah. And then they gave me 3 babies. It was surreal, really.
I'm so thrilled.
And then Shahrukh came the same day to the hospital, and there was a stampede.
Of course.
There was a stampede in the hospital. The patients have come out with their IV drips and all. Shahrukh Khan. And I was clueless because I was in La La Land with
your 3 bundles of joy.
Drip and my...
I want to spend a little bit of time, Farah, about you talking about how men also need to be educated and family needs to be educated. Because, in rural India and a country like ours, a woman is often blamed and has to, feel the brunt of being blamed about not being able to have a child. How has that also influenced the Bollywood industry, the perceptions about IVF and fertility?
I think Bollywood is pretty much knowledgeable about it now. I mean, so many of them going in for surrogacy and...
I mean, I'm talking about the misconceptions or the stigmas.
Generally, we speak about it, and we do because Bollywood is the best way that people want to read about it, Google it, endow it. They want to... If it's Bollywood, they will click on it and they will see it. If a doctor is talking, they may not click on it and see it.
Right.
So I think it's pretty much our duty to do this. Because like Shirish is fully educated now on IVF, and because he was coming with me, and he was really very, very supportive through it. In fact, when I used to have meltdowns and when it wasn't happening and I was crying in bed, for days, 2 days, literally, because you don't know what, and I'm not that person. I'm a very upbeat person, but I think it's also the hormonal imbalance or the emotions are heightened. Everything is heightened with all the injections you have been given. So he used to be there. He was a calming factor, and he was like, it's fine if we will adopt a child. So why are you worried? And if we can't adopt a child, we both will continue. Life is good. So he was actually very, very supportive for me. So I think if the husband is supportive, and I've seen a lot of people going there without the husbands coming, and it affects your mental well-being. And I think it's all here. If you're strong here and you're positive here, your whole body responds to that.
What about, do spend a little time about the positive outlook and the positive thought process that you had during this time to get you through this?
See, I was so positive that the first time only I thought it's going to happen. Though the doctor had warned me that normally it doesn't happen on the first go and we need to prep your body for it. But I was so positive that I was sure this is going to happen. So I'm that person. But I think it helps if you manifest, if you read. Also, you educate yourself about what's happening
to your body.
And don't, like I said, don't always say it's too stressful, it's too hard, I can't do it, oh my God. There are worse things to happen. I feel it's a joy, it's a blessing given to you to conceive and to have a child.
And there are other options also available to become a parent. That's something.
Of course there is. Yes.
Farah, during your pregnancy, were you working or were you taking?
Yes, I was actually, like I told you earlier, Simrit, I had to finish little bit of work I had to finish Darde Disco, and I did one song for my brother's movie for Hey Baby Dil, you know, Maskalandar.
Okay, yes.
So I was pregnant at that time, but I was not telling anyone. And also, if you see Om Shanti Om, the last bit, the end credits,
Yeah.
where I walk on the red carpet,
Yeah,
I
when I
was
walk.
2 months pregnant that time.
I'm gonna go rewatch
Yeah,
it.
but I was looking, and I looked beautiful when I was pregnant.
Glowing.
Yeah, my hair was thick and my skin had become good. Only my stomach was like this big. So I worked throughout, and then I did the post-production of the movie, and I did the PR. Deepika and me used to go on every TV channel promoting a movie with such a big stomach. I was working, and I was happy that I was working because it also keeps you
Active and
and
distracted.
I'm happy when I work.
Yeah.
It's the last 10 days when I had to put my feet up, I got all swollen.
Okay.
But it was fun also in a way. All my friends were really, I mean, Gauri threw me a baby shower,
Oh, cute.
which was lovely, and I got a lot of gifts. I used to play R.D. Burman songs for them, you know, when they were in the tummy, and it was quite nice. Everyone took a lot of care of me.
So sweet.
Which also became irritating after a point. Arey, dekho, I'm not blind, I'm just pregnant. Like, I can see. There is. But people were generally nice. Shahrukh bought me such a big triplet ka pram.
Those three.
3 from Harrods.
Okay.
And then he came home and then he fixed it. And then it was so big that it wouldn't go out of the door. So we had to put them in the house only and make them go up and down with it.
Farah, were there moments when you doubted the process and wanted to give up? How did you overcome this?
So, no, of course, you'll always doubt when it doesn't happen. You know, thrice it didn't happen, and then the 4th time it did. I never doubted the process. I was just doubting, will it ever happen for me?
Yeah.
I think the process is good. The process is scientific. You cannot get a better process than this if you can't conceive naturally, you know. And also it helps when the doctor is supportive, you know, in your clinics, wherever you go. If they have good doctors who are sympathetic, who are empathetic. It's not a very clinical way of doing it. But yes, at some points I did doubt that I'm not never going to have a kid. It's not going to happen for me. Maybe. But then Shirish was there too. And then, you know, if you keep that doubt and you only listen to that doubt, the chances are low of it happening.
Yeah.
Then. So you need to get that out of your system immediately and say, manifest something good.
That I can do it and it's going to happen.
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
going to happen.
Okay.
Of course, it's going to happen.
How has life been post IVF and motherhood? What has your perspective been towards motherhood and also managing your life and your work?
I think everyone asks me this. I think life, you get kind of perspective in life when you have children. Okay. You understand what is actually important in life. Because before that, every small thing is a problem or every small thing you get stressed about. No. When you have kids, you realize what is important. This is what you need to focus on. Of course, I've slowed down my work, but out of choice, because also I've worked. I don't want to work how I worked when I was in my 20s.
Right.
I want to enjoy the fruit of my work also now. Yeah. So a lot more holidays, a lot more traveling with my kids, a lot more spending time with them. But now what has happened is they've gone to the 10th standard and they don't have time for me.
Boards.
So, because they are board exams. And they are studying like they are going to build, I don't know, they are going into engineering right away.
Okay.
So, I'm a weird mother who goes and tells them, can you all please stop studying and like
chill.
Just chill for some time. No, we have exams, you have to study. So, yes, life, of course, if anyone says that motherhood doesn't change their life, they'll be a rare species. It does change your life. I became, I think, I became maybe a nicer person. You know, I became... Yeah, I'm telling you, even when I now do reality shows and all, before motherhood was another judge, and after, I always think it's somebody's child.
Okay.
You have that kind of empathy for that person because you always imagine yourself in their shoes. You imagine what you would do for your child. So all those things happen. And because of my children, I've got so much more empathy for animals. Because my one daughter is a mad animal lover and she has adopted dogs and she's into giving for animals, and throughout pandemic she started this
How lovely.
foundation. Yeah, so I've now learning to love. Learning means I love dogs now, and other animals. So you learn a lot from your kids, also, and they are really like my. We have a lot of fun together.
All three of them.
All three of them. I think my happiest time is just when they come back from school. I always say the happiest time is when everyone is at home. Doesn't matter if they are in their room doing homework, or the dog is playing outside, or Shirish is in his room writing, or I'm in a set, but everyone's at home. You know, that's my most
Happy place.
content time. Yes.
Farah, to people who are watching this, to women who are just starting out their journey in IVF or are into their journey, what would be your message to them?
Well, first of all, they have to understand that there is nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's every woman is different. Every woman has had a different life path of why they could not have children, or they chose not to have children, or there's nothing. It's nothing wrong. It's a different path, and IVF gives you the freedom to have kids when you want. If you want to wait, if you want to, it's really like a gift waiting for you to
happen.
open and say that I want to now do this, and I want to go through this, and I want kids now. You should have kids when you're ready to have kids. I see so many young mothers, they are frazzled all the time. And I don't know whether they are also hyper and helicoptering, because I don't know whether they were ready to have kids when they had, or they gave up something to have that child. You should live your life. Your child should enhance your life. Your child should not be taking away something. It's not that you have to give up something to have a child.
Right.
You should be having that thing also, and the child should come and enhance that further. You know?
True.
So I feel that's the gift that it is, because it gives you a choice. And choices are very important.
Are very important.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Farah,
Thank you,
for
Simran.
being so candid and sharing your personal
No,
journey
I think
with
it's,
us.
I would like do this every day if I could, you know, because I see, especially in our country, it's
Yes.
still somewhere there is a stigma
Taboo,
to it.
fertility,
There
or
is
less of a
stigma to
man,
it.
or a less of
I
a
know a
woman.
lot of people who have had through IVF and said, "Mera to natural hua tha," and they are. I mean, I was like, okay,
I know.
yeah. I mean, come on now. You should be talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's natural. It's something that is
Yes.
been given to you as a boon for
And
science.
मुझे सब पतियों को बोलना है, father-in-laws को, fathers को, the men in the woman's life, that be supportive. क्योंकि सबका सबसे ज़्यादा stress ना एक woman को उन दो male
have to
figures
take.
का होता है.
That's true.
तो be supportive, उनको secure करो, उनको you have to cocoon them and give them your support, and then you'll have a happy baby.
Yeah, and happy babies make the best people.
Happy babies make happy mothers.
Thank you so much, Farah.
Okay,
This was
thank
a
you,
delight.
Simran.
So, IVF. पूछो, अब तो हम एक्सपर्ट्स हैं.
हाँ, अभी तक तुम किसी डॉक्टर से मिले हो?
वही तो हम पूछना चाहते हैं, शुरू कहाँ से करें?
नोवा IVF के बारे में बताओ ना इनको.
अच्छा, सबसे पहले तुम एक अच्छा स्पेशलिस्ट ढूंढो.
पर किससे पूछे? आजकल एक सही स्पेशलिस्ट मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है.
एग्जैक्टली. नोवा IVF की यही चीज सबसे अच्छी है.
हाँ, वहाँ पे तुम सिर्फ एक स्पेशलिस्ट पे डिपेंड नहीं करती.
हर कपल के लिए एक्सपर्ट्स की एक पूरी टीम होती है, जिसमें एक्सपीरियंस्ड IVF स्पेशलिस्ट, एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट, मेडिकल काउंसलर्स और ट्रेन्ड नर्सेस भी होती हैं.
और ये सब मिलकर काम करते हैं ताकि आपको बेस्ट रिजल्ट मिले.
एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट, वो भी जरूरी है क्या?
बिल्कुल, एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट भी जरूरी है. ये वो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं जो लैब में एम्ब्रियो की देखभाल करते हैं ताकि एम्ब्रियो ट्रांसफर करने के लायक हो जाए.
एक अच्छा एम्ब्रियोलॉजिस्ट हो और एक एडवांस्ड वेल इक्विप्ड लैब, तो बेबी कंसीव करने के चांसेस बहुत बढ़ जाते हैं.
No IVF, huh? अगले हफ्ते अपॉइंटमेंट ले लें।
चुनो ऐसा फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक जो बढ़ाए हर कदम आपकी सफल प्रेगनेंसी की ओर। नोवा आईवीएफ करने का सही तरीका, नोवा का तरीका।
आपको कब लगता है कि आप माँ बन गई हैं? जब प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट में वो 2 लाइनें दिखती हैं, या फिर जब पहली बार आप अपने बेबी को अपने हाथों में लेती हैं, या फिर हो सकता है कि आप माँ उसी दिन बन जाती हैं जिस दिन आपने डिसाइड किया कि फैमिली स्टार्ट करनी है। मैं लकी हूं कि मैं नेचुरली कंसीव कर पाई, लेकिन कई ऐसे कपल्स हैं जो नहीं कर पाते। एंड आई विश कि कोई भी जो माँ बनना चाहती है वो इस वंडरफुल फीलिंग को एक्सपीरियंस कर सके आज की एडवांस्ड फर्टिलिटी ऑप्शंस की मदद से। इनफर्टिलिटी भी बाकी कंडीशंस की तरह एक मेडिकल कंडीशन है जिसके लिए एक्सपर्ट्स चाहिए। नोवा आईवीएफ एक ऐसी फर्टिलिटी चेन है जहां सबसे एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी और फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट्स की एक्सपीरियंस टीम है। अगर 1 साल से भी ज्यादा ट्राई करने के बाद आप फैमिली स्टार्ट नहीं कर पाए तो आप नोवा आईवीएफ के एक्सपर्ट से बात करें, जिन्होंने 40,000 से भी ज्यादा कपल्स को सक्सेसफुल आईवीएफ प्रेगनेंसीज पाने में मदद की है। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें और अपने ऑप्शन समझें ताकि इनके एक्सपर्ट्स की टीम आपकी मां बनने की जर्नी को सही रास्ता दिखा सके। नोवा आईवीएफ, इंडिया का सबसे भरोसेमंद आईवीएफ चेन।
तुम अभी तक सोई नहीं?
इंतजार करना छोड़ दे क्या? हम क्लिनिक ही नहीं गए उसके बाद, टेस्ट भी कंप्लीट नहीं किए।
हाँ, पर टाइम है ना, और वैसे भी इतने सारे रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं अभी।
वो कब खत्म होगा किससे पता।
चलो वापस फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक चलें?
प्रोसेस तो शुरू कर सकते हैं ना?
सेफ तो है ना डॉक्टर से मिलना ऐसे टाइम में?
फर्टिलिटी क्लिनिक है, हॉस्पिटल नहीं। और एक बात, हम दोनों को शहर में रहना होगा ट्रीटमेंट खत्म होने तक।
हाँ, वैसे भी हम अब कहीं जा नहीं सकते ना।
पर क्या हम अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं?
बच्चा तो हम चाहते हैं ना।
यस।
तो सही समय अब है।
पिछले 60 दिनों में 2000 से ज्यादा दंपतियों ने हमारे साथ अपना सफर शुरू किया है। हमारे फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट से बात कीजिए और सही निर्णय लीजिए। सही समय अब है।
आईवीएफ के बारे में बात करने से शर्माना कैसा? हमसे कुछ भी गलत होता है ना तो हम तुरंत किसी ना किसी पर दोष डाल देते हैं, खुद पर या हमारे आसपास के सभी लोगों पर। ये नेचुरल है क्योंकि वी गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड फ्रस्ट्रेटेड। लेकिन सच तो ये है कि हम सबको कभी ना कभी मदद की जरूरत पड़ती है, और मदद लेने में कैसी शर्म। नोवा आईवीएफ के एक्सपर्ट्स पर भरोसा करें क्योंकि वो आईवीएफ एथिक्स का ध्यान रखते हैं और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करते हैं। आपकी सिचुएशन को समझने से लेकर पर्सनलाइज्ड ट्रीटमेंट प्लान बनाने तक नोवा आईवीएफ स्पेशलिस्ट हमें हर तरह से इमोशनल सपोर्ट भी देते हैं। और अब आप पूछेंगे कि इतनी परेशानी क्यों उठाए, तो आपको बता दूं कि ये सब आपको तब वर्थवाइल लगेगा जब आप पहली बार बच्चे को अपने हाथों में लेंगे। 43 की उम्र में मैंने आईवीएफ को मौका दिया, इसलिए झिझकिए मत। नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ भारत की प्रमुख फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। आईवीएफ के बारे में बात करने से शर्माना कैसा? हमसे कुछ भी गलत होता है ना तो हम तुरंत किसी ना किसी पर दोष डाल देते हैं, खुद पर या हमारे आसपास के सभी लोगों पर। ये नेचुरल है क्योंकि वी गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड फ्रस्ट्रेटेड। लेकिन सच तो ये है कि हम सबको कभी ना कभी मदद की जरूरत पड़ती है, और मदद लेने में कैसी शर्म। नोवा आईवीएफ के एक्सपर्ट्स पर भरोसा करें क्योंकि वो आईवीएफ एथिक्स का ध्यान रखते हैं और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी मेंटेन करते हैं। आपकी सिचुएशन को समझने से लेकर पर्सनलाइज ट्रीटमेंट प्लान बनाने तक, नोवा IVF स्पेशलिस्ट हमें हर तरह से इमोशनल सपोर्ट भी देते हैं। और अब आप पूछेंगे कि इतनी परेशानी क्यों उठाए, तो आपको बता दूं कि ये सब आपको तब वर्थवाइल लगेगा जब आप पहली बार बच्चे को अपने हाथों में लेंगे। 43 की उम्र में मैंने IVF को मौका दिया, इसलिए झिझकिए मत। नोवा IVF से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा IVF भारत की प्रमुख फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। IVF अननेचुरल है, प्लीज आप मेरे बच्चों को ही देख लो। जार की आंखें बिल्कुल शिरीष जैसी, आन्या के बाल मेरे जैसे, एंड थैंक गॉड दीवा की हाइट मुझ पर नहीं गई है। IVF और IVF की प्रक्रिया के बारे में सुनकर आपके मन में भी कई सवाल आते होंगे, इसीलिए ये जरूरी है कि आप किसी ऐसे फर्टिलिटी सेंटर पे जाएं जहां IVF प्रोसेस के एथिक्स का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता हो और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी हो। IVF चुनने का यही एक सही तरीका है, नोवा का तरीका। नोवा IVF के स्पेशलिस्ट के लिए सबसे जरूरी है पेशेंट के हित को ध्यान में रखना और उनके हिसाब से ट्रीटमेंट प्लान्स बनाना। नोवा में फर्टिलिटी डॉक्टर की एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस में ये काम किया जाता है, क्योंकि वो सबसे बेहतर समझते हैं कि आप कितने स्ट्रेस से गुजर रहे हैं और वो हमें हमारी संतान का सुख प्राप्त करने में मदद करते हैं। हमारे बच्चे 100% हमारे हैं, बायोलॉजिकली एंड इमोशनली। और अब तो मेरे बच्चे 13 साल के हो गए हैं और मैं आपको यकीन दिला दूं कि सभी बिल्कुल स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त हैं और बहुत नॉटी भी। इसीलिए आप इस बारे में कुछ और मत सोचिए, तुरंत नोवा IVF से अपॉइंटमेंट ले और सही दिशा में अपना कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा IVF भारत की सबसे भरोसेमंद फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। हैप्पी पेरेंटहुड।
आपको कब लगता है कि आप मां बन गई हैं? जब प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट में वो 2 लाइनें दिखती हैं, या फिर जब पहली बार आप अपने बेबी को अपने हाथों में लेती हैं, या फिर हो सकता है कि आप माँ उसी दिन बन जाती हैं जिस दिन आपने डिसाइड किया कि फैमिली स्टार्ट करनी है। मैं लकी हूं कि मैं नेचुरली कंसीव कर पाई, लेकिन कई ऐसे कपल्स हैं जो नहीं कर पाते। एंड आई विश कि कोई भी जो माँ बनना चाहती है वो इस वंडरफुल फीलिंग को एक्सपीरियंस कर सके आज की एडवांस्ड फर्टिलिटी ऑप्शंस की मदद से। इनफर्टिलिटी भी बाकी कंडीशंस की तरह एक मेडिकल कंडीशन है जिसके लिए एक्सपर्ट्स चाहिए। नोवा IVF एक ऐसी फर्टिलिटी चेन है जहां सबसे एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी और फर्टिलिटी एक्सपर्ट्स की एक्सपीरियंस टीम है। अगर 1 साल से भी ज्यादा ट्राई करने के बाद आप फैमिली स्टार्ट नहीं कर पाए, तो आप नोवा IVF के एक्सपर्ट से बात करें, जिन्होंने 40,000 से भी ज्यादा कपल्स को सक्सेसफुल IVF प्रेगनेंसीज पाने में मदद की है। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें और अपने ऑप्शन समझें, ताकि इनके एक्सपर्ट्स की टीम आपकी मां बनने की जर्नी को सही रास्ता दिखा सके। नोवा IVF इंडिया का सबसे भरोसेमंद IVF चेन।
आईवीएफ अननेचुरल है। प्लीज आप मेरे बच्चों को ही देख लो। जार की आंखें बिल्कुल शिरीष जैसी, आन्या के बाल मेरे जैसे, एंड थैंक गॉड दीवा की हाइट मुझ पर नहीं गई है। आईवीएफ और आईवीएफ की प्रक्रिया के बारे में सुनकर आपके मन में भी कई सवाल आते होंगे, इसीलिए ये जरूरी है कि आप किसी ऐसे फर्टिलिटी सेंटर पे जाएं जहां आईवीएफ प्रोसेस के एथिक्स का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता हो और 100% ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी हो। आईवीएफ चुनने का यही एक सही तरीका है, नोवा का तरीका। नोवा आईवीएफ के स्पेशलिस्ट के लिए सबसे जरूरी है पेशेंट के हित को ध्यान में रखना और उनके हिसाब से ट्रीटमेंट प्लान्स बनाना। नोवा में फर्टिलिटी डॉक्टर की एक्सपर्ट गाइडेंस में ये काम किया जाता है, क्योंकि वो सबसे बेहतर समझते हैं कि आप कितने स्ट्रेस से गुजर रहे हैं और वो हमें हमारी संतान का सुख प्राप्त करने में मदद करते हैं। हमारे बच्चे 100% हमारे हैं, बायोलॉजिकली एंड इमोशनली। और अब तो मेरे बच्चे 13 साल के हो गए हैं और मैं आपको यकीन दिला दूं कि सभी बिल्कुल स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त हैं और बहुत नॉटी भी। इसीलिए आप इस बारे में कुछ और मत सोचिए, तुरंत नोवा आईवीएफ से अपॉइंटमेंट लें और सही दिशा में अपना कदम बढ़ाएं। नोवा आईवीएफ, भारत की सबसे भरोसेमंद फर्टिलिटी चेन। आज ही अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करें। हैप्पी पेरेंटहुड।